What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Second Passport. A lot of folks that move abroad that still need money, maybe particularly young people or someone who wants to augment their pension, one of the primary things that they look to do to make money when they move to a place like South America or Ecuador or Europe or wherever, it's starting a bed and breakfast or a small hotel hostel type deal in the hospitality industry. And I'm no different. It's one of the main ways I've made money since I moved abroad, and I've now been doing the activity with a 12-room bed and breakfast kind of in the Quito area for a little over 7 years now as one of my primary businesses and primary money makers. And we can take a quick look at it here from this little drone vid I took. This is the entrance here to my current bed and breakfast slash hotel, 12 rooms right in the Quito area. It's been great. I love living here. Perfect climate all year round. Very stable. Can't beat it. It certainly costs less in South America or in a place like Ecuador to do this type of business if this is what interests you, okay, as it interested me. Traveling around, and you don't need any degree, that's for sure. Just traveling around, staying in a few hotels in your life, small bed and breakfasts or hostels, backpacker hostels. There's so many niches in the hospitality niche itself, or segment or category. You could. Now there's even things like glamping and, of course, Airbnb and stuff like that. So, the costs are certainly a lot less to do this type of business in a place like Ecuador compared to, say, the U.S. or Canada, mainly because of the labor costs is the big thing that costs a whole lot less. But also people don't realize the utilities cost a lot less. Often leases and rents are a lot less. A lot of things are a lot less. And let's dive into how much I spend on a weekly and monthly basis here. I lease, and it's kind of an expensive lease, especially for Ecuador. It's a big 10-hectare property with 3 different houses on it. But I pay $2,600 a month. Now, obviously, if you bought the land and built, then obviously you wouldn't have that cost, but you'd have a much bigger upfront cost than I had, which was just basically move in, furnish it, and go. So definitely something to think about. And the cable TV, I have 3 or 4 different contracts, pay a total of about $150 a month for 12 rooms. I have 3 different internet services that I pay a total of about $100 a month for. These are all monthly fees, right? Now my electric bill, because I have a pool, a solar heated pool with pumps that are electric powered, that move the water around from the panels to the pool, I pay about $250 a month, which is kind of pricey for Ecuador. My water bill is around $50 a month, when I'm hitting on full cylinders. And during pre-COVID times, I had 3 full-time employees, and with ES, which is the Social Security down here, payments, it's true, the minimum wage is about $400 a month for full-time in Ecuador, but I paid them a little more than that, and it worked. They stuck around. Last thing I want to do is deal with people that are coming and going every couple months, and that's what you deal with usually when you pay about minimum wage. So I paid about $700 a month, and my ladies stuck around and were super loyal for almost the whole time I was in business, 7 years or whatever so far. And but with their ES Social Security payments, and something you have to keep in mind, in Ecuador, even if you pay someone minimum wage, 400 a month, you actually have to pay them 15 monthly wages in a 12-month period, because you have the double bonus payment in August and the double bonus payment in December. That's just Ecuadorian labor law. And you also have an extra payment as well that you pay them proportionally, called the fondos de reserva, that you pay them a little bit on top of their normal salary all through the year. So plus you have to pay an extra. It's like $80 a month to the ES per minimum wage employee. So after you factor all that in, uh, I figure I pay about 1,000 a month. Once you factor in all the bonuses and the ES and everything that I paid per employee. The pool maintenance, which I covered in a different video on the channel, I pay about $80 a month, with chemicals and everything included. A guy comes once a week and he includes the chemical costs, and he vacuums the pool and puts the chemicals in and checks the pumps and cleans the pumps and all that, for a total of 80 a month. Gardening, I have one guy come twice. It's a 10-hectare property, but really only about 1 or 2 hectares is the part I occupy. The rest is farmed by someone else. But I just pay one guy to come with his little machine and cut the grass and stuff and trim shrub brushes and stuff, uh, twice a month, once every 2 weeks. Pay him $50 for the whole day. And I have one part-time employee who comes about 8 nights a month, about 2 nights a week. I pay him about $25 a night, which is pretty good for Ecuador. Not bad. So total cost there about $200. The natural gas or propane cost is subsidized in Ecuador, and for a 12-room hotel, it's almost a non-cost, but about $50 a month total, and that's what heats the water. The marketing costs, like when you're published in sites like Booking and Expedia, they take a commission off every sale. So on my normal sale amounts, like pre-COVID, I was paying about $1,200 a month between all the sites as far as commissions go. Right, now that is a variable cost that changes as you sell more or less, but more or less was about $1,200. And the accounting, I got this one accountant that I pay $30 a month to, and she does my sales tax filings, the necessary ones, on a monthly basis, and also helps me with employee matters and things like that. So, I mean, the total here to keep this 12-room thing, hotel, bed and breakfast, hostel going, whatever you want to call it, here in Ecuador, it cost me almost $8,000 a month. Now, my average revenue per room, right, that's where you kind of have to take a little hit, but you don't have to. If you make your rooms nice enough, you can charge pretty close to what you could get in the US, maybe $80 to $100 a night for a smaller place. Now, I was on the low end, where in my market, here near Quito, it's pretty cheap. So I was charging anywhere from $25 for a single all the way to $35, $45 for a double, $55 a triple, things like that. And I figure with the average vacancy, which I didn't have much vacancy. I haven't, thanks to God, pre-COVID. I stayed pretty decently occupied, but I figured there were still some empty rooms here and there, and some higher priced rooms that I sold, and also some lower priced ones. So figuring in the empties and all that, my average revenue per room per night is about $30 to $35 on average. Times the 12 rooms, times 30 days in a month, and it comes to, on the low end, $10,800 in revenue. On the high end, closer to $13,000 in revenue on per month is about what I've done. And so the profit here, you can see, is about $3,000 to $5,000 a month on the low end. And it didn't occupy a whole lot of my time. I did answer the phone, which is a lot of work, and the email. Other than that, I had the employees pretty much doing everything else. So, I mean, it was pretty automatic, once you get it set up. This is kind of what I have made and what you could make on a similar size bed and breakfast in a place like Ecuador or South America, right? These are the fixed costs if this is something that might interest you, and the possible revenue gain. Now, you could double or triple that revenue pretty easily by obviously finding ways to charge more for your rooms than I did. So, and keeping them full. So definitely something to think about. Not to brag or anything, but just to kind of inspire you to actually, maybe $3,000 to $5,000 a month doesn't inspire you to make a big move to South America and start a bed and breakfast. And I totally get that. It's not that much money, but it's certainly enough to live comfortably in a place like Ecuador, which I've done just fine. Now, my top month of my entire 7, 8 years was a few months before COVID hit in October of 2019, where, as you can see here on my account, what I did just in pure brute sales, just about $30,000. That was my top month, but it was kind of a fluke. Not gonna lie, I normally did around what I just showed you, 12, 13 a month pre-COVID. Now, obviously, my numbers are way down, like most hospitality industry. But this was my best month because of uh, there was a political situation in Ecuador, if you remember, in October 2019, where there were huge strikes, some rather violent, all over the country, and the indigenous were blocking roads, so you literally couldn't even get anywhere, right? So people were freaking out. They're staying in hotels longer than they normally would, and hotel rooms were at a premium during this time, and so the hotels, we could charge a little more. Just to kind of inspire you a little bit, you can definitely make money in this business, but I would recommend it for someone who really likes people, right? Not really in it for the money, but really likes people. And if you're cool, you know what I mean. If you're cool, if people gravitate to you, then you could do really well in this business, and a lot of people would come stay with you just because of you and choose you over the big chains and stuff. So, other guys like me, don't really have that, and you can still do it like I did, this type of business. But it's like playing basketball while short. You don't have that advantage of being tall. That's it. I'm Mr. Second Passport. Hope you like this and maybe got something out of it if this business ever interested you.